So before even embarking on this video, I know it's gonna ruffle some feathers. There will be diehards, stans, simps, and other predilections of Eurobike cucks that will be swift to enact absolute justice in the comments section for the precious Yammie Noob besmirching the good name of their chosen bike. Listen, I don't make the rules. I'm merely a vessel spreading the gospel of two wheels and trying to rip mega dank nooners on my Hayabusa. I didn't choose this life. It chose me. How's it going, everyone? It's your dad who left 12 years ago to go out on a ride on the Busa and never came back, the questing rube, triumphant dude, Yammie Noob. I thought I'd spare you the pubic references, at least for today's video, it's for the best. Today we're looking at a list of the 7 least reliable motorcycles ever made. Not motorcycle brands, not styles of bikes, but literally specific models that you should avoid like the plague. In today's video, I'm taking on the role of motorcycling's Martin Luther and nailing the sins of these bikes to the church of Rossi, so that all may know. These bikes should be adorned with a scarlet letter so all squids realize their transgressions and choose more wisely. Today's video was powered by Ridge Wallets. I'll tell you guys a little bit more about them later in the video, and of course by all of our members on YammieNoob.co. If you love what we do here and think daily, esoteric, thought-provoking, fringe, meme-laden, independent motorcycle content should be cradled like a newborn baby, well, consider hitting the link down below and supporting us. You get access to exclusive content, our Discord server where we all hang out. Seriously, I'm there every day, and hey, you get the chance to win some free bikes too. So if you want to show your undying love to your Yam, go and check that out. And a quick note, the bikes chosen today are all $19.99 and up because, of course, much older motorcycles will be less reliable. And with that, let us begin today's roast session. Number 1 on the chopping block, the 2001 Harley-Davidson XLH Sportster 883. Yes, we're beginning the list with a Harley, of course we are. Even though resident cruiser boy Spite is not in this video, well, he is behind the screens in the list dungeon editing this video. Give him a wave, Spite. Today we're talking about a Harley. Harley Sportster is one of the longest running motorcycle models in history. Starting in 1957, Harley started pumping these bikes out for boomers and they've been doing it ever since. So you'd imagine that with over 60 years of production, surely they would have figured out how to build a bike correctly, right? Come on, man, it's an American motorcycle company. Who the hell knows? According to law-abiding rider, these V-twin engines from 1999 to 2006 had an unusually high rate of failure and malfunction. In particular, the 2001 Sportster 883 was one of the worst of the bunch. It had loads of problems, and during this time, the engine had a cam chain tensioner problem that made it especially bad. You'd think that a bike as mechanically simple, rugged, and old school as the Sportster, it should just work, right? Welcome to American motorcycling. Another sore spot for the 2001 is this was 3 years before Harley switched to rubber mounts for the engine, so it had that old school Harley shake. Some people find that to be charming. I myself chalk that up as a weird relic of the past. The H in XLH stands for high compression and denotes a hot rod engine, gotta love Harley. With a curb-stomping 53 horsepower on a good day, a rocket ship this was not. There are substantially better ways to blow a couple grand on a cruiser that will actually run right. Don't bother with the sporties from the early 2000s because they are nothing but trouble. Let's get a sound clip of the sporty before we let it go into the great beyond. Up next is a total polar opposite, but one we can almost forgive. It's the 2007 Aprilia SXV 450. Oh, Aprilia. What could have been? If you think the hyper-motard is insane, the Aprilia SXV 450 would like to talk to you. What do you get when you take a 449cc V-twin that revs at 13,000 RPM, makes 60 horsepower, and shove it into a bike that weighs about 210 pounds, wet and ready to ride? One of the craziest factory bikes ever assembled. The SXV 450 is legendary as the mega supermoto that only a select few have the patience and cash to own because it is ludicrously finicky in terms of maintenance and reliability. Which is saying something because for those of you who have converted a 450 dirt bike into a supermoto, you know how finicky it can be if you're not careful. Look, I almost don't want to place this bike into the list because it's so ridiculously hopped up that it's basically a race bike that runs on hours and not mileage. However, this was a street legal bike that Aprilia sold, so we have to be brutal with it. The first generation SXV had lots and lots of teething problems. SXV forum gurus state that 1 in 3 pre-2008 models had issues, and I don't know about you, but I don't like those odds. It's a shame because this is one of the most insane factory supermotors ever sold, and for those of you who know, you know. However, with super short maintenance schedules, a bike that's been reported time and time again as having issues, and it's Italian, the choice is yours, but I would steer clear. Let's hear how it sounds though. Up next is a wide swath but a necessary one. It's the new Urals. The Ural. One of motorcycling's bespoke oddities and truly strange objects that seems to stoke the desires of the most bizarre two-wheeled enthusiast. What is it that drives a person to want a Ural? Is it their lust for hipsterdom, or do they want the attention and panache of Ferrari ownership with a Soviet flair and at 1/50th of the cost? Who can say? The thing we can say is that it is unequivocal that Urals are gigantic pieces of crap. And that's not me saying it, it's the hundreds of Ural owners on forums who seemingly have Stockholm Syndrome. The Ural is a quote-unquote new motorcycle sold as having old-school charm. The problem is that it's built basically exactly like it was 70 years ago. Owners of these bikes report failed brakes, final drives, pistons, frames, and transmissions, among many other issues on relatively new machines, according to Adventure Rider Forum. Long story short, anything you can imagine going wrong with a Ural, it will happen and more. Hell, there will be things that exist outside of your imagination that will go wrong with this bike. The Ural dares you to dream bigger, and what I mean by that is dream of catastrophic engine failures on a new bike. To me, this is unacceptable, and I'm sure we're ready to be rated by the Ural lovers, but you cannot in good faith tell me that this bike is any more reliable than any major brand. The sad part is they've been building them like this for 70 years. Have they not figured it out yet? Before departing with our forlorn Ural, let's hear how it sounds. Wow, that's miserable. Now, a quick word from today's sponsor, Ridge Wallets. Unlike the Ural, your wallet should adapt and change over time. Do not buy the Ural of wallets in the form of some bulky, leather-bound, singles-filled cash wallet. Gross. Who carries cash anymore? Why are you going to the strip club? Don't. The Ridge simplifies this process. They've got an ass load of 5-star reviews, tons of badass colors and styles, and they sell things for your everyday carry. If you don't believe me, I literally use my Ridge as my daily wallet, and it's great. The Ridge is one of those buy-it-for-life type of things where you really won't need to replace it once you get it. Right now, fans of the Yam get 10% off using the code YammieNoob and using the link down below. So head over to ridge.com/YammieNoob and pick something out that you love. Use the code YammieNoob to get 10% off your purchase and upgrade your wallet. Don't get the Ural of wallets, get the Busas of wallets with Ridge. Now, the next bike on our list is another quote-unquote American motorcycle company. It's the 2015 Cleveland CycleWorks Misfit. So what do we have here? An American company making a low-cost single-cylinder bop-around type of bike? Wow, that's so cool and inventive. Wait, it's a rebadged Chinese bike? Well, I guess that's about as American as it gets, huh? Slick marketing, cool colors, but underneath it's some mass-produced piece of junk. The first-generation Cleveland CycleWorks Misfit seemed like a cool idea, a $3,000 motorcycle you could get brand new. However, cracks started to emerge as people quickly realized it wasn't all it seemed. The first bikes had known electrical problems, and we're talking about the ride it in the rain and you'll probably short something type of electrical problems. They were built to a price and it showed. The problem was at $3,000 you get a whole lot of used great Japanese bike for the money. Their value prop wasn't exactly clear and the bike was sorely lacking. Let's hear how an anemic single-cylinder Chinese bike sounds. Wow, total shocker. Up next is yet another American motorcycle, this time a true blue American one. It's the 1999 Buell X1 Lightning. Buell! Once again, you find yourself here. Buell is the brainchild of Eric Buell, a guy who wanted nothing more than to build America's sport bike and just couldn't quite get it done for a variety of reasons, of which there are too many to get into this video, but we did a retrospective on Buell a few years ago if you want to check that out. The 1991 X1 Lightning was one of those kind of cursed motorcycles. It was meant to be this badass naked bike, but ended up being a bit of a dud. Owners complained that welds near the mufflers failed, rocker box gaskets leaked, leaking fuel, and other major mechanical problems. Buell owners forums know the X1 is a bit of a dog compared to other well-loved Buells, but these issues are just not normal for a motorcycle to have. The later XB series would prove to be a bit more reliable, but the X1 series just didn't quite pan out. Let's get a sound clip of the X1. Number 6 on today's list goes to the 2019 Royal Enfield Classic 350. Uh-oh. Here it comes. The Indian audience ready to brigade and destroy my channel, but upon lots of research, I found the 2019 Royal Enfield Classic 350 to be a serious clunker in terms of reliability. It's another one of those new but built old kind of bikes that just ends up clunking along like an old bike. Owners have reported many issues with these, and with one forum owner stating it was in the shop constantly. Unfortunately, Royal Enfield is known for having some quality control issues these days, but that doesn't stop their rabid fans from posting love letters online. I would really like to read this excerpt from one review I found. This person says, "I love Royal Enfield and I'm fascinated by the quality, design, beating, torque, power that is offered by every Royal Enfield out there. As a matter of fact, there is no one who doesn't like Enfield bike these days, but my love for Royal Enfield doesn't end there. It literally flew out of the clouds and landed a desire in my heart to work for Royal Enfield. The Enfield Cycle Company is responsible for the design and production of the Enfield Bullet, the longest lived motorcycle design in history. Royal Enfield's spare parts operation was sold to fellow Chetty in 1967, which benefited from the arrangement for 3 years until their closure in 1971. Guys, I love my Daytona, but I wouldn't even write something like this. Let's hear how the Classic 350 sounds. And last for today's video is the 2020 Benelli 600i. This is another one of those odd bikes that aren't sold in America because, well, the market probably wouldn't accept it if they tried. The Benelli TNT 600i is Benelli's answer to a mid-2000s Suzuki Bandit. It's a 460-pound four-cylinder motorcycle making 85 horsepower. Why? Why is it being sold? Oh right, price and four-cylinder sound. With problems like a gas tank without a proper overflow hose, seriously it just dumps gas onto the engine block, and many other quality control issues. The reason? It's one of those slap a cool logo on a Chinese bike situations. The Benelli is a Chinese built, and although their reputation for building simple one-cylinder engines have improved, they are not known for having competency building higher spec machines. In fairness, the Chinese have been able to build some decent and cheap single-cylinder and dual sport machines. Seriously, I've seen some gnarly torture tests for Amazon bikes on YouTube, but the Benelli is another questionable bike. Let's hear how it sounds. Alright guys, that's going to round it up for today. What did you think of today's bikes? Love it, hate it? Feel free to sound off in the comments. I do appreciate you watching today's video. If you enjoy what we do here, consider visiting YammieNoob.co and signing up to support us to get access to exclusive content, our Discord server, and more. Thanks again to Ridge Wallets for supporting the video. Click the link down below and use the code YammieNoob for 10% off your order. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later. Fact: Charles Darwin's pet tortoise died very recently. She outlived her adopter by 124 years, ultimately making it to a whopping 176 years old. Goodbye.